All right, as a DMZ professional, I wanted to put together a little beginner's guide. For those of you guys just jumping into DMZ, it can be a little complicated to understand everything, and I get that. I jumped in here head first without any thoughts of what was going on, and hopefully this video can help you understand DMZ on a new level. Even if you're not a beginner, I might be able to share some stuff with you that I've found after hundreds of hours of playtime. I finished all of my faction missions, besides, we won't get into that, but all of my faction story missions are completed. I'm level 650. I have about a 4 KD in DMZ. But yeah, I've got the cred. It's all there. I make a lot of YouTube content on this, so if you guys enjoy DMZ content or live streams, make sure you guys drop a like, hit that subscribe button. Let's start with this menu. This is the beginning screen of DMZ once you click into DMZ. Now, once you're in here, and it's changed, so that was one thing I noticed is a lot of the old DMZ guides, they're not updated with everything that's new in DMZ. So this is perfect for those of you that are jumping in season 3 and after, because there's a lot of stuff that has changed from season 1 to season 2. And season 3 was one of the biggest changes yet. So first here, you have your deploy button where you go into the DMZ. Faction mission button, squad fill. So if you want to play solo, turn this off. I don't recommend playing solo until you are very well versed with the maps and the playstyle and you understand it very well. I play solo. Right now, when I need to do missions, I play solo. It's just easier for me. I'll make more stuff on that as well. But let's go over to active duty. So in your active duty slot, you will have, at the beginning, you'll have 3 active duty slots. Each character is custom. They all hold their own loot. So you can't bring out loot and give it to these guys. So let's say I wanted to loot this guy up. I wanted to get him the self-revive, a gas mask, a plate vest, kill streak, and a backpack. I would need to go into DMZ with him, click on him, take him in, loot him up. And then when I come out, if I wanted to use someone else, I just come out and click on someone else. Or let's say that you just died. I just died with him. I actually did, really. And I don't feel like going out and looting right now. So I come back in here and I pick one of my other guys that I have available. Now, a little tip here. If you build these guys out, so for instance, let's say I have 3 of them. I have one guy with a scavenger backpack, and a scavenger backpack allows you to hold a lot more items, but only 1 weapon. Whereas the large backpack lets you hold 2 weapons, but less items. And then you have a secure backpack. So with this guy, if I need to go in and I need to make sure I come out with something, I take this guy in. A secure backpack works as anything in the secure backpack is actually saved, even if you die. As long as you leave the game and you die, the secure backpack will bring the stuff back and you will have it, unlike any other backpack in the game. So that's a big bonus, and that's why I have 2 characters set up. One on scavenger in case I need to go on a big loot run, I need to get a lot of items. I have him. And then we have a secure backpack if I need to make it out safely with items for a mission or whatever it might be. So come back here. Okay, that's the active duty slots. You can purchase more. You start with 3, and then they sell bundles where you can unlock additional ones. Little pro tip here: you do not need more than 3. If you don't want to put the money out, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. I promise. It doesn't matter. I literally only use a couple of them, and it's just not worth having 7. I just have 7 because I'm trying to support DMZ as it goes. Okay. Active duty slots. When one's dead, if you want to change your operator, you can dismiss operator and then choose someone else. So for instance, I'll do this one because I think there's a bug with this guy currently. So if you go to dismiss an operator, it will actually take everything that you have from him. So we're going to do that here for the sake of the video. So make sure you drop a like, because I'm going to have to go reloot on this one. So this is what the active duty slot looks like open. So if you click on it, it'll allow you to scroll through all of your operators that you have, either bought or unlocked or whatever it might be. However you got these operators. So if you click on them, it will show you, oh, I already have her on a variant. You can only use one operator per variant per active duty slot. It's kind of weird. So you kind of have to pick and choose how you want to play your characters out, and they have to look differently. So that's that. Once you click through that, they become one of these, and then you can go and loot them up. All right, so here's your small backpack. So in here, this is the stuff you will be taking into DMZ. Now keep in mind, anything you take into DMZ and you die with, you lose permanently, unless you have a secure backpack. But we're gonna act like you don't. So anything you go in with here, you will die with. Up here, we have our contraband stash and then a stash. Our stash holds 30 items, our keys hold 30, and our contraband stash is 20. However, if you did not buy the multiplayer MW2, these are cut in half. You only get half the size of the stash. So keep that in mind. Do you need the full stash to play the game properly and have fun? No. You can play DMZ completely free to play if you choose and still complete everything you need to do. Now, we'll go in here. If you come down here, you can take 2 weapons in, a tactical, a lethal, and a field upgrade. I will tell you guys, most of the time I bring in a munitions box. Unless a mission requires a different item in here. There's a mission that requires a tactical camera, a mission that requires a recon drone. So to make it easy so you don't have to find one in-game, I take it in from here. But majority of the time, you will want to take a munitions box in because ammo is important, especially when you're getting ambushed by bots. They do not stop coming, I promise. As far as tactical and lethal, this is going to be personal preference. You find what you want. I take a stun in certain places. I take a smoke in other times. And lethal is pretty much always Semtex, unless I have a mission for a dual charge, then I'll do a dual charge. Semtex is good. It takes out riot shield AI. But that's a whole different thing. Let's talk about our weapons and our stash. So up here, we have our insured slots. I have all 3 insured slots currently. You unlock these by completing faction missions. So these missions right here, these missions, okay? We'll go into those in just a second. So now your insured slots are as follows. You have an hour, 2 hours, and then 3 hours. I believe that's the current time schedule. So if you die with this gun in raid, it takes an hour for it to come back. And you can go in, change this weapon to any gun you have unlocked from multiplayer or that you've leveled up. And then you come back here, select your weapon, click on gunsmith, and you can attach any attachments you would like to it to make it the best possible gun for DMZ and what you're trying to do, your mission objective. Because in the end, DMZ is all about the missions. It's a PvPvE. So you're going to be coming across players and you're going to be playing environment. So bots and other variables as well. But once you edit your weapon in here, you can tune it as well as long as you've leveled your gun up enough. And come out here, you can attach it to you. And this is what you'll be taking in. Now, you can build these out and have these in any way you want. I tend to change them based on the maps I'm running for the current day. Some maps require close range, so I have a shotgun here. And I was streaming earlier and doing Building 21, which is a very close range map. We'll talk a little bit about the maps as well. So this is your contraband stash. Now in this contraband stash, these are weapons you have taken from inside of DMZ that you've successfully extracted from. Okay? So when you get on the extract heli and you have these guns in your backpack or on you and they are not your insured weapons, they come back as contraband stash. So all of these are weapons I've taken from an enemy or a bot. Most of these are going to be from an enemy. The bot guns aren't that good. These are 2 bot guns, but it's just an SMG. And let's say you pull out a gun, we'll say here. So if you actually hover over that weapon, console or PC, and you press the preview button, on PC it's 3, you can actually see all of the attachments on said weapon. I didn't know this for a while. This is very important. Once you get well versed with the idea of what everything does, this is a useful feature, I promise. I promise. Now let's say that you open this up, you see that it's got the VLKLZR7MW. You don't like that laser. Okay, well, you can go in game to the contraband. You can edit your contraband weapons in game at the workbench, which are found near buy stations. And you can take that laser off and put a new one on, or you can take the scope off and put a new one on. You can do whatever you want to this gun, and it costs $3,000 per attachment, which is pretty cheap. It's pretty simple to find money in DMZ. So you can edit every single one of these weapons in game if you choose, and if you extract with that weapon again, it will come back to your contraband stash, but it will be updated with the attachments that you put on it. So contraband stash, I think we covered it well. I think that should be good. I think a lot of the thing here, so with the insured slots, you just unlock them through finishing faction missions. This is going to be your first grind at DMZ, unlocking all 3 insured slots. I promise. It's worth it. It's really nice having 3. You'll want to do such. So let's talk about our stash. So if you click on your backpack, you can add an item. So these are mission items. Right now the game is a little bugged and it kind of gives you extra mission items. I don't know when this will be fixed. But as you can see, I have a lot of the same thing in here, and that's just because of a bug. These are items that you will be using for a mission. To give you an idea here, so the train cargo manifest is an item that you extract from the train safe, and you have to take it into Ashika to trade for a sniper rifle at a buy station. So a lot of missions, and some missions will require you to go from, we'll say, Mazrah, which is a big map, to Ashika, the small map, and you'll have to take items with you in between said maps to complete missions. This is where mission items comes in your stash. Okay, so that's what this does, and sometimes you'll have to take stuff from Ashika to Building 21, or vice versa. Currently we have 3 maps: Mazrah, Ashika Island, and Building 21, with a new place on the way called Koshei Complex. Keys. So these are items that you can take in and out of DMZ freely. These are keys that open locked spaces in DMZ. They're all over the place. Some things do more than others. So for instance, I have a main harbor control key here. This key is good for regaining up. Let's say you just died, you have nothing on your character. I take the main harbor control key in. It unlocks a locked room on Ashika Island in port, on that side of the map, and it gives me most of the time a 3-plate vest and a backpack. I have 30 out of 30 keys. I'm full on key stash. Today I was hunting for skeleton keys, and I ended up getting quite a few of them. I didn't realize how many I got. There's quite a few there. So let's talk about the skeleton key. Why not? Because this is a new item. The skeleton key unlocks every single locked space in DMZ across the board. The only thing it can't be used for is the DRC Building 21 access card, which, by the way, you only need 1 of, and you just need it in your stash in order to go into Building 21. We will talk about the maps. So with the skeleton key, you can unlock any locked door or space. They're quite difficult to get. If you want a skeleton key, I suggest you go into Building 21, where you trade 3 encrypted hard drives for it at the barter station in Building 21. That's how I got all of these skeleton keys. These will unlock everything, so I just try to stock up on some of them. All right. Let's talk about the faction missions. So, as of right now, you have Redacted, White Lotus, Legion, Black Mouse, and then you have Crown. However, Crown is not available to you if you didn't purchase the full Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. So if you didn't shell out $70, you do not have Crown. And that's okay. You don't necessarily need it. It's just more missions to do. So in here, in this new mission UI, you can hover over said mission and it will tell you. So for instance, this mission, a tier 5. Now, by the way, keep in mind, tier 5, I've completed all of the missions. So tier 5 is the absolute hardest of them all. And the missions you're seeing here are going to be far more difficult than you will be doing at tier 1 when you're learning DMZ. Don't worry, they give you easy stuff to start out with so you can learn the fundamentals, learn the maps, learn which weapons you want to use and stuff like that. So rest assured, it's not this difficult. But for demonstration purposes, this is Lone Hunter. It's a tier 5 Black Mouse story mission, and you infill so without any teammates and without a weapon. You kill one operator. So one operator, an operator is a player, another player in the same deployment. That's not AI. Exfil in the same deployment without having picked up any weapons. This mission is actually very difficult. It is very difficult. But for the sake of it, on this side, you're going to get rewards. So for this, you will get a contraband riot shield weapon. Most of the time, the mission rewards for the contraband weapons are not that good. You can always go in, make them the way you want on the contraband workbench, though. So keep that in mind. And you also get 20,000 experience. But it does get juicy. So this is the story mission. Okay. The tier 5 story mission for Black Mouse. Positive ID. Oh, this is a good one, actually. Extract our hard drive in Mazrah from the Zarqwa hydroelectric dead drop. So there's dead drops around the map. They're white trash cans that you can drop stuff in. So keep that in mind. And then building 21 server room data. So basically you have to go get this hard drive from Mazrah. Then you have to take it out onto a different map. So you have to successfully extract, go into building 21, which is DMZ on hard mode, and download the hard drive data and then extract without hard drive from building 21. However, from this mission, you get a special weapon blueprint that is exclusive to this story mission in DMZ. If you don't complete this story mission, you will never get this blueprint. They're rare and they're worth it. They're worth it. And cha-ching, 40,000 experience. You level up pretty quick in DMZ. So as you do this, I think the first insured slot is completing Black Mouse up to a certain point. I don't remember quite much. And then a tier 5 for the second one. Unless you bought Crown, then it's a tier 3. So you can when you have your active or your what's it called? Insured slots not unlocked, it will tell you in the little square what you need to do to unlock them. Work on your slots, get them unlocked, and then it will make the missions easier. It's simple. I think that's everything right here. I wanted to go through. Okay, so look, now we're going to click on deploy. I'm trying to be as beginner friendly as I can because this is very intricate. Everything is intricate. Okay, so you have 3 maps currently. We have Ashika Island, Mazrah, and Building 21. Building 21 requires that Building 21 card, as I said. All that needs to be is in your key stash. So, Ashika Island, we'll talk a little bit about these maps for you guys, okay? Okay, so Ashika Island is a small island map. If you've played Resurgence, it's the same map, but it's a lot foggier. Now, in here, there is really high tier loot in a close proximity, okay? So when you go in here, there's a lot of PvP, a lot. So players are pushing around trying to hunt others in order to carry and combine and get the best loot possible. I would only go into Ashika Island unless 1, you're trying to learn the map, or 2, you're doing a mission. Or if you need to regain, but even then, I wouldn't suggest a regain until you're comfortable with gunplay and DMZ, because Ashika Island is difficult. It's difficult. Now let's talk about Mazrah. Mazrah is going to be your main stomping ground in DMZ. This is where you're going to go, and this map is so big that as long as you're moving, you shouldn't run into many players. You may run into campers here and there, but for the most part, this is a big map and the loot is spread far. You will want a vehicle. And it's a big map, I promise. But if you want to go in here by yourself, learn the maps, I highly suggest you go in, even if it's just to walk around a little bit or hop in a car and drive around to get a good feel of the map, to know where stuff is or how AI spawns or stuff like that. Kudos to you. That'll make you better and well versed with the map. But for the most part, you will be playing on Mazrah. Most of the missions are on Mazrah. Most of them. There's a lot on Ashika too, but most of them are on Mazrah. And now this is Building 21. Building 21, as you can see, they labeled it difficulty hard. Building 21 is very difficult. Like, I would not attempt to go into Building 21 until you are comfortable with Ashika. Now, how this should go is you go into Mazrah, get comfortable, understand the mechanics and stuff, move over to Ashika, play it for a while, get comfortable with it, and then go into Building 21. Building 21 is very close quarters. It's in a single building. The bots are heavy bots. They're all tier 3 bots with heavy armor. They will gun you down. If you run into 3 of them at a time, they will kill you completely and you will die. It's difficult. However, there is very high tier loot in a very, very confined space in Building 21. It's something that once you get a little bit more seasoned with, you'll want to go into. I would definitely stick with Mazrah just to understand the bots, the AI, the players, the movement and stuff. Go to Mazrah, drive around, get a feel for everything, and then move on to Ashika. So, and then go into Building 21. Building 21, like even myself, I have hundreds of hours. I'm pretty decent at the game, and Building 21 is still difficult for me. But it's a good place to keep your skills sharp and to just keep you agile because it's so intense. Or if you really want to, go into Building 21, give it a shot. You will see. I recommend you go into all 3 of these places and just get an understanding for them. And then once you want to start mastering everything, start on Mazrah, get a feel for everything, do the bots, do the everything. So, for a recap here. So we click deploy, we're on a map. Let's say we want to go to, we'll say Mazrah. So right here, it's going to show you missions that you can do. You got to remember that missions are based per map, okay? Missions are based per map. So keep that in mind. It will show you what you've got here. If you want to edit your missions, you can click edit and then choose new missions that you want to put on. Once you put one on, we'll put this one on. Go back, it will show right here. You can take it off by clicking it again. Once you have your mission selected that you are going in to complete, confirm. This will then show you your active duty operator that you are currently taking in and the weapon choice, anything in your backpack that you currently are taking in. By the way, if you die, you will lose everything shown here. Everything. So keep that in mind. You can also click edit and it takes you back to the screen we were just on, where you can add your contraband stash and blah, 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 and whatnot. So, once you're ready here, you're ready to go, press confirm. Now, once you get to this page, this is ready. You're going to click matchmake and you're going to go into the DMZ. And we're going to go into Mazrah, and I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I think you guys will find useful in your first game or 10th game or 20th game playing DMZ. So we loaded in to Mazrah DMZ. Now, you're going to get in here. There's several spawn maps for other players throughout this map. We're going to go around and we're going to talk about this map. We're going to get into a building first. These guys are going to try to get on the train, and that is okay. I went squad fill, so I spawned in with 2 random teammates. Now, let's go over here and let's talk about the map in DMZ. So first, as you guys can see, everything, there's a lot of lootable items in DMZ. So we're going to lay down right here. Let's talk about the map. So on Mazrah, we have here. Okay. So we have the weapons case. This is going to be an area where you might need a key to get into to get the weapons case. If you get the weapons case, you get special items. Be warned, if you pick up the weapons case, everyone on the map can see where you are. The weapons case moves with you. So, and take a good eye at the legends here. You have contracts, weapon case area. If you take a vehicle in the weapons case area as well, it will be DDoSed and it will not work anymore. So, until you kill the commander that is guarding this. And then, let's talk about this. So, these 3 icons right here, these are exfil points. So you will want to make your way to one of these points after you're done looting to successfully exit DMZ. If you get to one of these points and you successfully exfil, everything in your backpack and everything on your person, weapons included, will exit the game with you. Outside of certain items that you can't take out of DMZ, which is most unless they're a mission item. So your goal is to loot up or do missions as you need to and get to these 3 points here. Or you can also purchase one at a buy station. You can figure that out later. But these are the 3. Now keep in mind, other players also use these exfils. So there could be other players there or waiting for you to come so they can come after your loot. So keep your guard up when you go to this. Let's talk a little bit. So these are strongholds. You need a key card to get into these. You can find these by killing bots around the map. But most of the time, they have high tier loot in them for you. So a 3-plate vest, a big backpack, a self-revive, blah, blah, blah. You have different types of vehicles throughout the map. I would recommend staying away from the chop top and this truck, the cargo truck. This is very exposed. You will get gunned down quick. And the cargo truck is also very slow and you will die quick. I suggest the Hummer or the armored trucks. Those are your best bet. And then you have different items. As you can see, this is perfect. See, this truck is now red near me. This is a player. An enemy player is in that truck. It just disappeared. It's only within a proximity of 100 meters. I was a player in that truck. So, different items on the map. Post office, these are all different items. You just hover over them. It tells you of point POIs that you can go to if you want. Now you have contracts. This guy's doing a mission. As you see, it's popping up. When you start doing your missions, they'll pop up on the side for you to tell you you're working on them. Let's talk a little bit about contracts you could do, okay? So we have secure supplies. This is a hunt squad contract where you hunt other players on the map. If you need easy money, I suggest doing secure supplies contract. This deliver cargo is a little bit more difficult of a mission, but it pays out very well. Secure intel, you take a hard drive from a marked location on the map after you activate the contract, and it will make you a fair amount of money, but it's quite time consuming to do. Secure nuclear material. This is another thing where you get an item and then you find certain loot caches that are showing radiation. That also, every time you do one of these, you get paid for it. So if you need to, then you can do it and get paid, get your plates, or buy whatever item you need. So similar, as you guys talked about, we have the exfil here. Over here, this is called a hostage rescue. So if you click on this and you go into the hostage contract, it will mark a building where you have to go save a hostage. Breaking into that building, there will be high tier bots that you have to gun down, and then you have to defuse a bomb on a hostage in a certain period of time. And once you do it, though, a special chopper, an exfil chopper, somewhere near this contract will get you out of the map safely as long as you take the hostage with you. So this is a safe way to exfil in DMZ if you're finding these a little bit too difficult to get through, because sometimes players sit at them and try to take your loot. So keep that in mind. That's a safe way to exfil the rescue hostage contract. This is a UAV tower. None of them are active yet. No enemies activated them. You can activate this and it will show you 150 radius of people around you, including AI. So if you activate that, it will show you everything that's around you for 150 meters. And we have the buy station. The buy station is important, where you can go in, buy plates, buy backpacks or special keys or other things. And that's also where the barter stations are and the workbench stations are as well, if you want to edit a weapon you stole from an enemy. Now, as far as the map goes, I think that is it. That's all the important stuff as a beginner. As you can see here, this UAV tower is now red. It shows you the radius. So if you enter that radius, this enemy can see that you are in the radius. They know that you will be there. Okay? They know you'll be there. So try to stay away from this. You just don't want to. Let's try to get to an exfil so I can show you guys that process. So you get up to an exfil point here, the mark, you call in the exfil chopper. Now, as you guys look up, it shoots up a green flare. Everyone on the map can see your green flare. Everyone. I didn't loot up or anything here. The bots are being a little wild. So I'm going to chill here for a second and make sure no one tries to push me, because this is an opportune moment for players to push you and try to take all of your loot. Also, the bots. The bots are out here throwing smoke at me. They are upset currently. That's going to happen. We're just going to try to get on the exfil chopper and hope that we get out safely. Here comes, you can see on the map, the exfil chopper is here, pulling in right here. Now I'm going to give you guys a little tip here. As someone who is with a team, but they're not leaving with me, once you get on the exfil chopper, it takes about 5 seconds, as long as all 3 of you are on the map, before the chopper leaves. However, you guys will see this countdown on my screen. If you're trying to go out solo outside of your team and your team is not with you, it will hold for 30 seconds even if you are on it. My advice and a pro tip for you is to wait until this timer goes down to whatever amount you think you can do before it takes you. So now we have 4 seconds here. Hop on. You can see the bots are trying to take me out. Make sure no one's around you. And then once you're at this point, you have successfully exfilled out of DMZ. You can look around. Be careful though. And now everything you've taken out from this point on is yours. All the mission items, all the keys, all the weapons, the self-revive, the 3-plate, the gas mask, everything. You'll see the successful exfil thing pop up, and it will go to your teammates if they are still in the game. We'll skip this. It'll give you a little mission objective report of what you did, total, and then you leave match. And then boom, you're going back to your thing. It will pop up here, show your experience. Since I'm max level and everything, that'll be how it goes. But that was your first DMZ run. If you guys enjoyed this video or you have any questions, make sure you drop a comment down below. Subscribe for more DMZ content and drop a like on this video for me to help other people learn DMZ. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.